In our last Luna video, we saw that the coin hit new all-time highs after it absolutely shot up. And our prediction was that the coin was going to consolidate over the next few days before we potentially see the next leg to that run. So today we're going to be performing some more technical analysis, seeing if our predictions were true and making some price predictions based on what we see today of where the coin could go in the near future. Let's get into it. How's it going, guys? Ryan here and welcome back to another crypto video. We're once again taking a look at the Luna coin, one of the channel favorites after its huge run that it has had over the past week. We're going to perform our usual technical analysis looking at various indicators such as moving averages, the MACD, and the RSI in order to make some predictions on where the price might go in the next few days, weeks and months. But before we get into that, guys, please remember to leave a thumbs up if you do enjoy today's video. And of course, if you want to see more, hit subscribe and turn on those bell notifications. We cover crypto, stocks, investing and wealth management. I'd also love to know your thoughts on Luna and where you think it's going to go down in the comments section below. But without any further ado, let's jump into the computer and start today's analysis. Welcome into CoinSpot, guys. If you're looking to buy crypto, including Luna, there is a link down in the description where you can sign up and start buying now. But let's take a look at Luna. And as you can see, we are currently sitting at $41.85 Australian. Absolutely awesome stuff there. And as we zoom out, you can see that this little peak over here was the new all-time high, and that was sitting at $47.79. Really cool stuff. Many happy holders, and all the positivity is coming back to the crypto space once again, which is very nice. I'm going to go now to the daily chart so we can conduct a bit more of an analysis, and you really can see the sheer scale of exactly what's been happening now when it comes to this coin. I'm very excited to see it, as you can probably imagine, but I want to see if the predictions that I had in mind are really going to come to be true. So what was my predictions? Well, first and foremost, I was a strong believer that there is a few critical points that exist. Now, obviously we had our base sort of support level at our previous highs, which was sitting roughly about here, and that was, you know, at 29.24. I don't think we're moving down to that mark in the near future at all. So given we're in blue sky territory, basically what we have to do is establish new key areas. And the key area, I suppose, of support that I saw from a base level was this point. We've seen plenty of price action, I suppose, sitting around here between like 33 to 35. I put it on about, I believe, this point roughly here in our last video, just I suppose as a good point, but I've decided to reevaluate it and bring that point all the way back down here, and that is to $33.58. Why have I done that? Well, it's because we've had 3 trading days as opposed to 2 trading days of action. So I think that is a strong point for us. Now, what we did see was also a little bit of a ceiling come into play, and I don't think it's at our peak here. I think it is sitting roughly at this point where we saw the price tip multiple times. That's sitting about $45 and, you know, about 50 cents, right about there. So we've put that one in place. So where did we think we were going? Well, basically what I could determine was a nice little flag pattern was forming. So if we chuck this one right in here, it makes it very nice to see what was going on. I expected we'd see some consolidation activities occurring. As you can see, if we put the lines in here, that is exactly what the case is. Let's chuck in the top end of this as well. Similar sort of things happening, as you can see. Now, obviously, I suppose the peak for us is up there, so the flagpole should go up to the peak, and you can see exactly what I thought was happening is starting to happen. We're having consolidation, it's moving right, it's not like big dumps or anything, we're staying well in between our key markers, and we're seeing a shift towards that key support point, which, to be honest, I don't think we're going to hit. We're going to be breaking out, in my opinion, before that fact. We're not going to hit that $33.62 mark. So if we, I suppose, brought it up to my last point that I had it at, which was about $36 odd, I think maybe a bit higher, 37 or roughly there. Yes, we might hit it a little bit, but I don't think that is really the long-term trajectory. So I think what we're going to see before we hit this support point is a break in this sort of a manner, and we're going to be testing this key point of resistance before potentially making new all-time highs. Again, we're not far off at the moment. As you can see, not much dumping has occurred from the price action, but also you can tell from the volume as well. Most of the days have been green days, good buying days for many investors in Luna. So really nice stuff to see there. Now, before I get into our usual moving averages and that sort of thing, there's something else I noticed, and something else I really want to test out, and I want to test it out with you guys because, you know, I like to keep my videos as, you know, authentic as possible. Can we chuck in a long-term trend? And the answer is yes, we can, to the point where you can see it starts all the way back here in January. And we're moving. You can see, yes, this has bounced. It's been used. It was broken through the long-term trend point on this big red candle day. That's when the long-term trend had failed. But what we are seeing is now we've gone back up. We've shot up. We're back in this long-term trend. That is a very poor circle. Let me get rid of that one and redraw that. We're back in the long-term trend right here. And in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring this down slightly. I really think what we've seen there is that is the floor. That is our marker moving in an upwards direction. And you can see it's moved into our flag pattern and bounced as soon as we moved into it. I think, you know what? Let's get rid of you. Let's get rid of you. That is our key support point at this point in time. You can see plenty of history, and it starts from the very bottom. We are now back in the upwards trend. So very, very happy to see that, guys, for sure. And to be quite realistic, yes, this is getting tight. And what we're going to see, in my opinion, based on this is not necessarily, I suppose, going down into that point, but I think we're going to see, you know, maybe a few more days of consolidation here, but it's going to break and tighten. Break and tighten, whether it goes, I suppose, horizontally a bit, obviously in an upwards direction. Actually, I'll show that in a bit more of a severe manner. Maybe it tests our top point again and we do this. As you can see, it's tightening before another breakout, or we break this flag pattern and go straight up. Both possibilities are realistic. Let's have a look at now the MACD in order to see if that may be the case. Having a look at that, we can see though that a bit of the momentum is obviously dying as we're going in a downwards direction, but this blue line is still staying nice and high. It's not diving down anytime soon. Real positive stuff there. As you can see, zooming out, nothing really to report. We're still looking really good. This red line coming up quick. So either what's going to have to happen is we're going to keep shooting up, or we're going to see, you know, a bit of a lull. And if we do see a lull, I don't think it's going to be a break through this uptrend. It's just going to be a sideways sort of pattern. So nice to see that. The other key indicator which we can use is obviously the relative strength index to indicate if we're overbought, which we are. We have been for God knows how long now, which makes me think maybe the RSI is not as good of an indicator for this coin as it is for others. The RSI tends to be ignored, but I've found that in a lot of cryptocurrencies. You can stay in an overbought range for a very long period of time, and people aren't really too bothered by that. So overall, looking fine. It's not really showing us too much. What is interesting is our moving averages as they start to come up, and what we start to see is basically new support levels being put in place by them. So moving this up right now, let's bring in our 20-day moving average, our 50-day moving average, and of course finally our 200-day moving average. you can see they're all moving up. We got the golden cross obviously from the 50-day moving through the 200-day, fantastic. We had the, you know, the 20-day moving through the 200-day previously as well. We are moving now in the right direction. What we're going to see is this trend line starting to come up in this sort of a manner and act as a key support point. It's going to pass through that long-term uptrend as well, which will further give the coin strength to keep moving in the right direction. Really good stuff here, guys, for the coin. Everything's looking very positive at the moment, and all the indicators to me are pointing at a potential little bit of a coil here, and then a price target obviously breaking through this 48.45 mark, breaking through that. Once again, going for these all-time highs that are sitting at, you know, $47.78 roughly, and then hitting new ground. So today's price target is 50 Australian dollars for Luna. I think we can see it within the next couple of weeks. The indicators are looking like that is a very genuine possibility, and we've seen the way that this coin can move in a very short period of time. As you can see, really coming out of the pits, as many coins have been doing. Bit of confidence coming back into the market, and having a coin with a very strong fundamental basis means that we are going to see success long term. So of course people are going to want to be getting in now. Bit more notoriety as well, given that there is a lot of price action that has been going on. It's getting a lot more attention on social media. People are talking about it, people are learning about it, people are understanding the value of Luna and the Terra blockchain. I'd love to know your thoughts on Luna and today's analysis down in the comments section below. Do you think $50 Australian is realistic in the near term? I certainly do. We just got to make sure we keep kicking those goals and the indicators are holding up. If you did enjoy today's video as well, guys, please remember to leave a like. And of course, if you want to see more of this sort of content, hit subscribe and turn on those bell notifications. We cover crypto, stocks, investing, and wealth management. But I'll leave it there, guys. I hope you have an awesome day. I'll see you next time. Cheers.